Hello ladies and gentlemen and welcome to the channel. I am Stylosa and we've just had a load of Overwatch news drop. Or well, we've had updates to competitive come out which we're going to cover in this video. But I guess the main thing is we've had this teaser image from the Overwatch official Twitter. And it shows a thing called the Biotic Rifle. Now what we believe this is SOMBRA's weapon, and that SOMBRA is a support sniper with both damage and healing capability. So why do we think this? Well, if you look in the top left of the image, it does say that this goes to Jay Morrison and G Reyes. So that is Soldier 76 and Reaper, and we know they've got extremely strong ties to a lady called Amma Amari, who we know is Farah's mother, and we also know was an original member of Overwatch, and we also know was an extremely good Egyptian sniper. So it would make sense that she has a type of sniper rifle, right? So in this image, what you can see here is Torbjorn says, as discussed, this is the proposed rifle that could be equipped by medics in the field. Despite what my esteemed colleagues will surely suggest, the application of her biotic technology is only intended to be used for healing. And then Mercy responds, while Torbjorn has, as ever, put forth a very clever design for his latest weapon, I would like to remind everyone that my intention when agreeing to the development of different biotic delivery mechanisms was to save the lives of Overwatch agents and others in need of medical aid. With this latest proposal, it is clear to me that we are on the slippery slope to modifications that will inevitably result in a weaponized version of this technology, something that I have been completely opposed to from the beginning. So that's interesting. So Mercy, she's fine with it being used as a healing thing, but if it's going to do damage to people, which it almost certainly will, then she's not going to be too happy about that. I mean, we think that SOMBRA is going to be a type of Talon agent, so Mercy's probably not going to like her anyway, but the fact that her weapon, her biotic technology is going to be used to damage people as well, I think the interaction between the new hero, which I'm just going to call SOMBRA from now on, is probably SOMBRA. Mercy's probably going to have a negative interaction with her in the game, so that's going to be interesting to see. Also, in this image, you can see Mercy's staff and an arrow from that to the actual barrel of the rifle. So, what does that mean? Is this going to be a type of lock-on weapon like Mercy's staff? I don't think it will, because that's Mercy's mechanic, and I don't think Blizzard want to just copy and paste mechanics. That'd probably be pretty bad, to be honest. Also, in the bottom right-hand corner, you can see Soldier's biotic field, and it looks like the inside of the biotic field is sort of being used as ammunition for this weapon. So, how do I think this is going to work, this weapon? Well, I think it's probably going to be a case of it will have some sort of lock-on or homing mechanic, and I think you'll be able to fire almost healing darts out of it and fire them at all of your team for a heal over time. And then I think it'll have a type of Lucio mechanic where you switch the dart out to a damage-dealing dart, and it changes the chemical concoction of the biotic field, and then you can fire that into enemies. But I don't think that'll be lock-on or anything like that. You'll actually have to fire it at enemies, and I think it'll do dot damage, so damage over time, to the enemy targets. Now, I want you guys to speculate as to how you think this weapon will work in the comments below, because I think it will be great, because obviously we don't know anything about this. We just know it's a support sniper rifle weapon that will most likely heal because it uses biotic technology. Now, a very interesting image is this. This comes from the Overwatch Brazilian Twitter, I believe. Look what that says up the top left. It says to Jay Morrison, A. Amari, and G. Reyes. A. Amari is Amma Amari. That is Farah's mother, and we know she was an original member of Overwatch. And why this was not included in the English image, we don't know. So it's almost certainly that this is her weapon, because we know the weapons of the other guys. You know, Soldier's got the pulse rifle, Reyes has got the dual shotgun, so we know that it is most likely her weapon. Also, if you look at this image now, you can see that SOMBRA is in the bottom. Well, I say SOMBRA, she probably is SOMBRA, but in the bottom left you can see Amma Amari, and her, we know it's her because she's got the sort of Egyptian eye makeup, which is the same as Farah. Like, they both use the same because Farah's her daughter. You can see she's using a sniper rifle. We don't know what that weapon is. We think it's a biotic rifle, or at least maybe that wasn't a biotic rifle then. It was just a standard sniper, but now she actually does use the biotic rifle. So I'll have to see. But it's very interesting. We know new heroes are always coming. We know that we need more support heroes, so it's interesting to see that it's a support kind of sniper that we get. And I think I may have almost predicted this a little bit earlier on, with a load of other people kind of predicted the same thing with all the SOMBRA teasers that were coming out just before the game launched. There is a video on the channel if you want to check that out. I'll put a link to it in the description below, which does go into detail on what SOMBRA could possibly be and what she looks like and all of that good stuff. Let's move on to the competitive updates in this patch. So there is a major problem with competitive right now, and that is if you are on the winning team, or your team is winning or about to win, and somebody leaves on the enemy team, everybody on that enemy team will receive negative, the full amount of negative XP that they would get for a defeat, but the winning team will receive a minor amount of XP for winning the game. The person that leaves obviously receives all of the penalties as well, but it's not fair that their team do, and this kind of goes vice versa as well, which is not good. This has not been fixed in this patch, but Blizzard do say they are working on a fix for this, and it should be out imminently. If not this week, then next week it should be out. But that is the, in my eyes, that's the main issue with competitive right now, because people get punished for something which is quite frankly not their fault. But there are changes that have come out in this patch which do address some of the issues. So sudden death timers have been adjusted across all of the maps. So originally it was 1 minute 45 seconds. However, on Numbani it's been increased to 1 minute and 50 seconds. And on Hollywood it remains the same at 1 minute 45. On all of the other maps it's been reduced. Now, why is this okay? So I think, to be honest, the reason it's been reduced is it's in relation to the distance from the spawn. Because if you look on Numbani, the first point that you attack, so if you're defending on Numbani when it's sudden death, they have to attack you, but it's actually quite far away. So I think they've increased the time to give you to make sure you can get 2 good attacks onto the point, possibly 3. And they've reduced the times on the other maps where you are much closer to the point. So like on Watchpoint Gibraltar, Route 66, Dorado, Volskaya Industries, Temple of Anubis, Hanamura, King's Row, you're very close to the first point you'll spawn. So you could almost get an extra attack in. So I think this is just a balance thing, to always make sure that there's possibly 2 or 3 really good attacks and not any more than that. But this is kind of stupid, I guess, in a sense, because we know sudden death is on the way out. It did need to be fixed while we're still using it, but this will not be a system that will be in the game for Season 2, because it's terrible, because when it comes down to a coin flip, it's a bit stupid, let's be honest. In other competitive changes, we have got, they fixed a bug which caused the top 500 icon to incorrectly display for certain players in various places throughout the game UI. Now what that means is you get like a little white and you get like a white rectangle with like a gold symbol where your player level should be. Everybody's seen this because this bug has been affecting everybody. That means you're in the top 500. Maybe you are in the top 500. If you keep seeing it, then possibly you are. Weirdly, it's gone missing from my game. I don't know why. They've also fixed a bug that sometimes causes players' skill ratings to display as 64 during placement matches. I think that happened to me, but obviously I can't check this now because I did my placement game so long ago. Well, it seems so long ago. I mean, it was only like last week, but whatever. They've also fixed an issue where if you left and rejoined an in-progress competitive play match, the game would still track the match as a loss in your placement match history, and when determining the amount of skill rating you receive for completing a match, even if your team won. And they do say, note, you must be present for the conclusion of the match to be eligible for the win. If you leave a match and do not rejoin again before it's over, it will count as a loss, both in your placement match history and when calculating your skill rating adjustment. They've also fixed an issue where you would still receive a competitive play leave penalty, even if you rejoined a match and completed it. Now, that was silly. That was one of the biggest issues a lot of people were reporting to me, where, you know, you disconnect, it's not your fault, but you try to get back into the game. I think you've got a minute. If you don't reconnect within a minute, then I think the game just counts as a loss anyway. But even if you did manage to reconnect to the game and win, you would still get a loss, which is really quite silly, and it's good that's been fixed. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been sort of a little news blast. We've got the SOMBRA weapon, what I believe to be the SOMBRA weapon, the biotic rifle, has been revealed by Blizzard, and we've got some competitive updates. Let me know, guys, what you think about both news topics in the comments below. I have been Stylosa. This is Unit Lost. If you love the channel, then subscribe to it, like the video. You can follow me on Twitter as well, which is @UnitLostGaming, and do send me stuff over Twitter. I really enjoy reading the comments on Twitter. And yeah, I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Toodaloo.